mythic and grand in some way. And I just sat there thinking,
What are they doing?
one, they've already made lots of mistakes. Then
and then the establishment saying there was a picture of our Queen on every note they stole. Whereas actually, which was much more interesting, was in fact that it was two lots of working class men, one lot were criminals and one lot were police, and that was very powerful.
But I wonder whether that would have come across more strongly if you'd, as it were, not divided it up into police and thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to watch both, and I would say to everybody, you've got to watch both. I think it's really interesting. I think it's very interesting on the times, and I think summertime is a hostage to fortune, but it's also the idea that the living is easy and your daddy's rich, and all of that is coming through, and there is this sense of rebellion. Now, I think Bruce Reynolds talking about the establishment, I don't think the word establishment had permeated to that level of pub talk.
I'm just wondering when the Establishment Club was founded.
Well, the establishment dates from 1955 as a How to Spectator article by Henry Fairley, but I think
you don't think it's trickled down to...
I don't think he would have used that language. I don't think he would have said, let's get back at...
He was a reader, Bruce Reynolds.
Yeah, and I think, and he also says, like, keeps a thing of beauty is a joy forever. He's talking about robbery as an act, and as you say, a robbery in which people get injured. But I think they're doing a style thing there. He looks like somebody out of the Shadows or a guitar group of the period, and it is beautiful on the style, but it's also beautiful on the crisis between the world where we were being offered in TV, colour supplements, commercial TV, yachts. The BOAC building is beautiful. It's like something like a Reggie Parrott, but it's still beautiful. The Jaguars that drive up to pick them up, all the guys in the bowler hats are pure Ministry of Silly Walks, but that is an era that we're seeing, and the tension in that era is between being working class post-war and this nightclub yachting world that is being offered up to us.
There was a very telling moment in the second part in the investigation where after their sentence for 30 years, Reynolds says now the fact that these people have been sentenced for 30 years means that from now on criminals will carry guns because this was intended to be victims. It was intended to be victims. And that made me really think that actually this is the beginning, this is the last kind of gunless robbery. And from now on it gets serious at 30 years. And I thought that was, so to freeze it at that moment in time was very interesting.
Okay, well, the two parts of the Great Train Robbery will be shown on BBC One on the 18th and 19th of December at 8 o'clock. And that's it for this week. My thanks to my guests, James Runcie, Abigail Morris and Callum Blount. Next week, the new novel from Christos Tsiolkas, who wrote The Slap, and the return of Ron Burgundy in Anchorman 2. Until then, stay classy.
Saturday Review was presented by Tom Sutcliffe of the Reader.
In 7 kilometres, exit.
The news is next, and then in a change to our schedule, the documentary filmmaker Rex Bluestein revisits the stories of prisoners of conscience he profiled for successive series of human rights appeals on BBC television 25 years ago. That's in the coming minutes.
BBC News at 8 o'clock. More senior doctors are to work weekends in NHS hospitals in England as part of a plan being unveiled tomorrow. There will also be more staff to carry out blood tests and scans. The move follows concerns about higher death rates for patients admitted on Saturdays and Sundays. The body of Nelson Mandela has arrived at his final resting place, his childhood home of Kuno in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. 4,000 people will attend tomorrow's funeral. Detectives searching for a missing teenager from Oxfordshire have now launched a murder inquiry, despite having found no body. Jaden Parkinson, who was 17, was last seen at Didcot railway station on December the 3rd and failed to return home as planned. A 22-year-old man and a 17-year-old youth have been arrested as part of the investigation into her disappearance. The Iranian authorities say they have arrested a man they claim is an MI6 spy. The semi-official Reisner news agency said he was detained at the town of Kerman, in the southeast of the country, after the authorities spent months tracking him down. According to the Iranians, the man has confessed and is on trial. But the former UK ambassador to Iran, Sir Richard Dalton, says he may not have been engaged in espionage.
I think this was happening across many parts of the world.
I single out Syria only insofar as that we had a number of Syrian cases. They came up time and time again. And the torture was always prevalent, as opposed to the torture we found everywhere in so many other countries.
Ghassan Najjar is one of 7,500 political prisoners